Welcome to Deep English Journey. Today we travel to a place where time seems to stand still. Imagine a small village hidden between the high blue mountains, a place where the wind whispers secrets through the pine trees. In this village, everyone knew everyone. They shared their bread, their joys, and their sorrows. But there was one man who remained a mystery: Elias. Elias was 80 years old. His face was like a map of a long, difficult life. He lived in a small stone house at the edge of the forest. He didn't speak much, but when he did, his voice was as deep as the ocean. However, it wasn't his silence that fascinated the villagers. It was the object hanging from a thick leather cord around his neck, a golden key. It wasn't a modern key. It was heavy, ornate, and seemed to shine even in the darkest room. People whispered. Some said it opened a hidden room under the mountains. Others believed it belonged to a lost kingdom. But Elias only smiled. He would touch the key and say, "This key is not for a door of wood or stone. It is for a journey that most people are afraid to take." Among the villagers was a young man named Julian. Julian was fast, clever, but very impatient. He was tired of the simple village life. He wanted gold. He wanted power. He spent his days watching Elias from a distance. One afternoon, Julian approached the old man under the great oak tree. "Elias," Julian said, his voice trembling with hidden greed, "you are old, you have no children. Why do you carry that key? Let me take it. I can find what it opens, and we can be the richest men in this valley." Elias looked at Julian with tired, kind eyes. "Julian," he whispered, "wealth is a heavy shadow. This key is a burden you are not ready to carry. To use this key, you must first lose everything you think you know." Julian didn't understand. He felt angry. That night, as the clouds covered the moon and a storm began to howl, Julian made a decision. He would not wait for permission. He would take the journey by force. The rain was pouring like 1,000 needles. Julian crept to Elias's small house. The door was unlocked. The old man was sleeping deeply. Julian's hands shook as he cut the leather cord. He felt the cold, heavy metal of the golden key in his palm. He didn't look back. He remembered seeing Elias walk toward the forbidden cave every Sunday evening. Julian ran through the mud. The forest felt different tonight. The trees seemed to reach out to stop him. Owls cried in the dark. "Where is the door?" he shouted into the wind. After hours of searching, he saw it. Behind a curtain of ivy, there was a small iron door built into the mountain. It had no handle, only a keyhole. Julian stepped forward. He realized that the key started to glow. It wasn't just gold, it was alive. The door opened with a sound like a long sigh. Julian rushed inside, expecting to see piles of gold coins, but the room was empty. There was only a small wooden table, a candle, and a large silver mirror. Julian was furious. "Where is the treasure?" he screamed. Suddenly, he heard a voice. It was Elias standing at the doorway. He wasn't angry. He looked sad. "Look in the mirror, Julian," Elias said. Julian looked. He didn't see his young, handsome face. He saw a man covered in mud with eyes full of fear and greed. He looked ugly. "The key opens the door to the truth," Elias explained. "The golden key is the courage to see yourself as you really are. Most people spend their lives running away from this room. They prefer to dream of gold rather than face their own soul. Julian fell to his knees. He finally understood. The journey wasn't about the mountains or the cave. It was the 15-minute walk from his ego to his heart.